From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, hon.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Well, still tracking that potential for some isolated showers, maybe, just maybe even an isolated thunderstorm in the eastern mountains, Modoc County included. But it's just going to be for this afternoon into this evening, and then the chances do diminish. It looks like it may still be a bit breezy at times. Today, tomorrow, really through the weekend, and possibly even into early next week. Mainly dry, warm through the weekend. I say mainly because, yeah, a little kink in there for the coast here, which we'll take a look at here in a second. And then the cooling trend. We've got a gradual cooling trend for next week. Temperatures dropping back most likely below normal for this time of the year. Nothing cold. I'm not expecting a big cold spell, but that may also help to introduce a chance for showers in the forecast for parts of next week as well. All right, here's your neighborhood at a glance for the rest of the day. Today, again, it's going to be another gorgeous day. Temperatures today, a lot like yesterday, low 80s for the valley and mainly in the 70s for the higher elevations. And again, notice the isolated chance for a few showers here and there. It's going to be mainly dry. You're going to make it through the day, most likely in Modoc County, Eastern Mountains. Most likely you'll be dry through the day, but don't be surprised if you see a passing shower here later on this afternoon. All right, let's take a look at your cool April Nights events. Of course, this is going to be the big kickoff here for tonight. It is the Spring Fest Car and Bike Show between 4 o'clock this afternoon until 8:30 this evening. You can see the temperatures starting off the event fairly warm. So you're going to need to make sure that you've got plenty of water to drink. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of things for you to drink over there. But then, yeah, as we start to see the sun set, those temperatures will start to gradually drop down to the 70s by the evening hours here. So it should be a little bit more pleasant as we get closer to sunset. Look at the winds here for today. Again, not that bad. Just, we're starting to get a little over 10 miles per hour in many cases. The winds do subside a bit here for your Saturday morning. But then going through the day on Saturday, the winds may pick up again. And now we're getting upwards of 10 to even 20 miles per hour in some cases, including the north and west side of the valley. You'll notice the winds on the south and east side of the valley, not as bad, but again, a little breezy at times off and on. I would take you into your Sunday morning into the noon hour. A little bit of a north breeze coming on in there here for your Sunday as well, not to mention out along the coast. So again, those off and on winds here is what we're looking at here through the next several days. Now, we have seen some of those clouds out there this morning. We're seeing a few more coming in behind that, but overall, I do expect to see some clearing. But we've got a lot of activity over the Pacific that may eventually have an impact on our weather here, especially as we go into next week. So here it is this afternoon. You see the few pop-ups that we're seeing here? This is what I was talking about. I think most of us will be dry in Modoc County, the eastern mountains, but again, don't be surprised if a passing shower moves through you late this afternoon and early evening. Otherwise, we're looking at sunny skies and drier conditions as you head to the west of that, taking you into your Saturday. Yeah, just a couple of those passing high clouds. Now, notice this off to the west. We're going to start off dry for the coast on Saturday and most likely even be dry through the day on Saturday. But you see that little bit of a slight chance for a shower. So on Saturday, if you see a passing sprinkle, don't be surprised. But again, most likely you're dry through the day on Saturday for the coast, and not to mention everyone else. And then we take you into your Saturday night, into your Sunday morning. And it looks like beautiful weather across the board through the day on Sunday. No chances for rain at that point. That may change, though, for next week. So there's that ridge of high pressure. It's in place. That's what's really keeping us mainly dry and warm through the weekend. That's going to be the dominant feature here. It's not very strong. That's why we're still seeing a lot of those clouds kind of filtering through, but it's going to keep our temperatures fairly warm. Then we've got this activity coming in. Now, you see this area of low pressure right here. This is the second day in a row that I've seen this type of solution. So it looks like this area of low pressure will stay to our south, won't have much impact on our weather. It's this one up here. You see how we're seeing a little bit of instability on Tuesday. I'm keeping it dry for everyone on Tuesday, but we'll have to kind of watch that for Tuesday. Then I've got my eyes on this batch of energy right here, because eventually by the end of next week, you're seeing this batch of rain here that could possibly make its way into the valley, and not to mention the higher elevations. So Is it going to be a lot of rain? At this point, I'd say no, but this is something worth watching. As we get into that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame, that's when we could possibly see this move through. So the timing of what we're seeing here is most likely going to change, and not to mention the intensity. Could it be more? Could it be less? We'll have to wait and see as we start getting into the next few days and getting closer to next week. Then high pressure is going to try to settle in here as we go into Friday of next week. By the way, this is a week from today. This is the cool April Nights cruise. Is it going to rain? Well, it's showing a little bit of activity, but most likely we should remain dry. The main thing that I'm actually kind of looking here for your Friday is the potential for these winds. You see this right here? This is some strong north-northwest winds. All we have to do is shift that a little bit more to the east and those winds are over us. So we'll see. I mean, the forecast model, the run before this was actually showing it over us on Friday. So again, timing, intensity of all this, it's going to change. Stay tuned. All right, we got a lot of events going on next week with cool April Nights, and you're going to want to make sure that you're going to be able to stay dry. And most likely you will. All right, I think most likely you'll be dry, but there is that chance coming in late next week. So we do have wetter than normal conditions, most likely down to the south and east of us. Here, not so much. I'm not so much sold on the idea that we're going to see above normal rainfall, but again, maybe a passing sprinkle or a light shower. I am sold on the fact that yes, it will be cooler, a gradual cooling trend taking you through next week. All right, so those cooler temperatures are on the way. All right, here's your temperatures for today. Temperatures low 80s in the valley, turning out to be absolutely gorgeous out there. Got a little button happy. Let's take you back to that map here. Again, low 80s here for the valley. We're talking 70s for most of us in the higher elevations. Again, you head up around 4,000 or 5,000 feet. Now you're looking more like the 60s. Upper 70s here for Trinity County, low 80s inland, and looks like upper 50s to low 60s along the coast. All right, now we'll take a look at that 7-day forecast, starting off with the valley. Yeah, low 80s, even some mid 80s possibly by Sunday into Monday, and then there's that gradual dip in those temperatures. By Thursday, what I'm doing here is I'm bringing it down to the upper 60s. All right, it may be cooler than that, maybe by a few degrees, but I have also included that chance for showers. We'll see. We'll kind of get a better idea. Of course, be sure to watch this evening's forecast for the latest on that. And not to mention meteorologist Brian Wilson will have more updates here as we take you through next week as well. All right, there you can see, of course, what we're looking at here for the coast. Of course, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s, next 7 days. No big temperature spreads there. Inland, it kind of increases, and then we see that dip in the temperatures and that chance for showers. Now, notice for Weaverville, I've got you Tuesday. I think Tuesday there's going to be a slight chance for some mountain showers, but nothing to write home about. And then, of course, getting toward the end of next week as well. Here's your 7-day outlook. So again, there's that Tuesday chance for the mountains, right? But again, it's not going to be a big deal. I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Here's this afternoon and evening for Alturas and Susanville. Maybe an isolated shower, otherwise more dry than wet. And then, of course, we got another chance for those showers as we take you toward the end of next week.